Listen, Reesa Teesa took the digital world by storm two
Yes, she
weeks
did.
ago
Yes, she did.
when she created her 50-part TikTok to where she spoke about her very short-lived marriage and her pathological liar husband.
Yep.
A lot's been going on since then.
Yep.
Let's
And
talk
so
about
she recently got signed.
Mhm. To
Talk
CAA,
about it.
Creative
Right.
Arts Agency. We don't know exactly what her plan is with them yet, but she was signed. People are saying she for what it's worth, she's a great storyteller. I mean, she was able to engage I don't know how many people, but a hell of a lot of people
Yeah.
with this 50-part TikTok. And storytelling is an art form. Storytelling is a skill. So if she's got that, then absolutely, I'm sure that this is probably going to be parlayed into some sort of, I don't know, television show, some sort of like limited series or a book or some sort of short film or I don't know, but I'm imagining that's probably what this is about, you know.
Yeah. Well, she's got over 400 million views as of the article that we are discussing, where she got signed to CAA. Um, yes, we all know it's 52-part, 10-minute series. Why the F Did I Get Married? Where she speaks very candidly about her story, about her interactions with her husband, her ignoring red flags because she was um either desperate or how do you say so infatuated with the ideas of the relationship that she ignored things that were plain in her face, and she realizes today, I should have saw this, some things I did see and I ignored, etc.
Yeah.
I think you already hit the main part on the head, which is why I thought this was worth discussing, which is her storytelling ability. Storytelling is something that is key in content creation.
Yeah.
And any of the big quote unquote experts or quote unquote moguls will mention that you have to be able to tell a story of you, a story of what you've been through, your brand story, and don't forget to post it on your story, right? All of these things, story. So
Mhm.
why are we talking about Reesa Teesa? Because gossip is juicy? No. Because of people's big back comments? No. Because of the fact that her storytelling ability has gotten her in a position where she is no longer some lady just holding up a phone on TikTok. She's on all of these different shows, Tamron Hall.
Camera.
She's being spoken about multiple times on places like The Breakfast Club.
I heard Robin Roberts. She sat down with Robin Roberts also.
Look at that. You see? I didn't even know that.
She's been
And
doing
so,
photo shoots and all kinds of things. They got this girl working. Okay.
well, and that's why I think it's worth discussing, because is this necessarily part of the entertainment industry? Maybe, maybe not. Her signing to CAA points that it will be if it's not already. As we just said, a lot of times by the time you hear about stuff, things are already moving and shaking in the background. And so that's why I thought this story was important to highlight, because we are both digital creators. We are both people who share stories, and we are people who are interested in these type of things. Furthermore, I don't know who everyone is who listens to this show, but I do know some of the people directly who listen to this show are also creators. And so I thought this was a great way of showing or speaking to how your digital creations can create other opportunities for you,
Yep.
because it's not always a record deal. It's not always a brand deal. She didn't have any of those things. The only thing she did have was she was part of the TikTok Creator Fund, and apparently was kicked out for some reason, and was the last I heard was in the process of appealing to get back in. But
She don't need it now.
she may, right, I'm about to say she may not need it now. We don't know, but the point is this has created other opportunities for her because
Yeah.
she was bold enough and skilled enough to do this thing. Now, whether you approve of it or not, different conversation. Whether
Mhm.
you think she's appealing or not, different conversation. But the fact that she has, one, taken the world by storm, and two, is very quickly seeing some of the benefits of the risk that she took, I
Mhm.
think is something that should be spotlighted today. Because when a woman is just viral, to me, that's not interesting, right? It's just someone went viral, cool. But but not only did she go viral,
Mhm.
but I had to sneeze for a second there. Not only did she go viral, but we see how quickly the turnover has become to her getting signed. CAA is not just a Joe Schmo company. They're a company that deals with directors, uh, publishers, producers. They deal with big wig people.
Mhm.
And so the fact that she has signed some kind of deal with them, like you said, points to other things are coming, bigger
Yeah.
things are coming. So, yes, perhaps you feel, as a person who watched it or heard about it, that this woman was crazy and bold and embarrassed herself. Well, that's one take. Another take is she rolled the dice, believed in herself, and in just a couple weeks is seeing the benefits of taking a giant leap, right? A giant leap of faith, which makes me think of a quote from the movie Inception. In Inception, they say, you either die alone, an old man, or you take a leap of faith. Something to that effect. It's either you take a leap of faith or die an old man. Either you take a leap of faith or die an old man waiting full of regrets. And
Mhm.
so a lot of times people don't want to take the leap of faith. They say, nah, I don't. I got this great idea, but I don't know if I want to do it. I really want to start this business, but I'm not going to do it. I really want to ask this woman out, but I'm not going to do it. There's all these different things that happen in life where people have an idea or a feeling that they can't get rid of, and they say, but I'm not going to do it. Because we are scared to take the risk. We've all been there, myself included. But when you take the risk, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I mean, when it comes to content creation, I love creating content, and I love. Uh, I've always loved being creative,
Mhm,
um, and there are a lot of lanes that I have, kind of played in.
mhm.
But I still, to this day, every time I post something on Instagram, it feels like a risk. It feels so intense, and I know that it might sound ridiculous. We do a podcast 5 nights a week. Why am I afraid of posting to Instagram? Or why am I afraid to like start a new podcast series, connected to my, you know what I'm saying? Like it can be all consuming to have to think about taking that risk. So to be a creator who is a little gun shy, and to see other people, just being themselves, or just doing the thing that they like to do, the thing that they enjoy doing, and that taking that risk becomes fruitful for them, it's actually really inspiring. It doesn't matter what story she told. Of course, it matters what story she told, but it doesn't matter what story she told. It's the fact that like her whole trajectory at this point is like, oh my goodness. Uh, I just think it's really cool, and I don't. I doubt. I know I said. I know. I feel like I just kind of cut you off, but I know I
It's fine.
said
Go.
that it'll probably parlay into some sort of book or a series or something like that, but it could also be her creating things for other people. It doesn't necessarily have to be anything about her specifically.
Right.
If you are good at writing, or if you are good at telling stories, they'll put you in a writer's room, or they'll have you sign on to, I don't know, direct commercials. Or there are plenty of people who started out as content creators, and now they visualize content for other people. They set up content for other people and produce. They do the treatments for different content activations, and they produce that content. So there's so many different lanes, and I don't know what she has coming, but I'm waiting and watching to see what comes of it. Because again, it may not be solely about her story. It may be a lot more than that. So
No, I agree. And in closing, I just think that lots and lots of people are scared to take risk and scared to take a leap of faith. And I understand why. But I think this is a clear sign that if you do take a leap of faith, as
mm,
much as you can fail is as much as you can succeed. And in today's digital era, we're seeing stories like this more often. And so I just
yeah,
wanted to highlight that and congratulate Reesa Teesa on
yeah,
her deal and whatever she has coming, because she definitely has things coming,
mm,
and to applaud her bravery for telling her story. Whether we like the story or not, whether we feel like she outed someone or not, whether we feel like it was low hanging fruit, whatever you feel about it is not important at this moment. What I think is important is the fact that this woman betted on herself. She
hmm.
said, I'm going to do this thing and I'm going to see what happens. And it's paid off. And I think that is what is worth discussing here.
And nobody asked me, but outing a pathological liar is not a terrible thing. So she's fine.
On that note, we move on.